It's live now, baby. Say it again. You won't say it again.
I won't because I love Will. That's what
Your
I originally said. Nothing
uh,
else.
your mic was like cutting in and out, like low and high.
Oh, my bad, Shawty. Is that better now?
Yeah.
You lying to me?
No, I
What
remember
random thing are we going to talk about this week before the little thing rolls in?
your face.
My face is pretty random. I will say that compared to you two. Who's this Joe Schmo with 225 subscribers?
Hey, that's 225. That's good.
The live stream this past week is people really liked it. People are DMing me like, do more live shows.
Oh yeah, bro.
Dude, good.
Dude, yeah.
It was like it was 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I
It was
saw that. I'm like, what?
long.
I'm like these dudes have that much time? Aren't you guys always busy? Like you guys were there all day.
Sunday was like our, because we were going to do an episode beforehand, and that was our day to like catch up on everything. So fun
You
time.
caught up. You caught up, all right.
Oh yeah. Games. We can see you all.
Will, I have that same hat. You're lucky I didn't wear it. We look like twins.
How many? Can you do like a hat video, Tony? Like just a video of all of your Star Wars hats?
I have so many
hats. I do. I could. Maybe I'll do it like a reel.
You should. I would love to see that.
I was thinking about doing like a GTA style like suit up, but with all of my Star Wars shirts.
Oh
god,
like,
I'm like waiting like a lobby, and then it just click, 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 and every time the shirt switches, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I also, or you could do like those videos. It like blew up on TikTok, and people still use the sound. And instead of a girl being like, "What I would wear if I was a boy," and it's like a nice pair of slacks and like like a flannel with like a hoodie over it or something like that, and you just do it with like Star Wars crap.
That's a good idea.
There you go. I'm waiting for it, man.
Paul Polanco says that he can't see everybody.
Oh man,
this is the show.
Oh wait a second, we're live. Paul can hear us. Oh my God, Paul
Atreides,
you're eavesdropping.
Man, we were just saying how smelly Paul Polanco is.
Yep. And speaking of Paul,
at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
All right, guys, we're here now. So
welcome back to black t-shirts, glasses, and Star Wars hats, baby. This is the podcast. Everybody hopefully is in uniform while they're listening.
Is that why you pulled out the glasses?
Yep.
No, I thought you just couldn't see.
You nerd. Come on, bro. You copycat.
Oh my gosh. We're the slow gradient right here.
Yes. What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
What's going on?
Hold on, I'm overexposing myself so I don't look as... Okay, now we're good.
Paul Polanco is your biggest fan, Tony.
Let's go. What up, Paul? That's my guy right there. That's MegaCon right there. Let's go, baby. All right, so you guys got any? I know Will wants to show off some pickups he got. What'd you get, Will? Show us your pickups.
Ooh, pickups. Number one, the maker himself. We got some George Lucas news today, and I love this thing, dude. It's so cool that they made this. What year was this? This was for the 50th, so
it was recent. Yeah.
It's so cool that they put him on stuff like this, dude.
There's a vintage scale one, a 3 3/4 one that was back in the day. That they dropped. Yeah. That was fire though.
Got this in the mail too. The Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary special edition book.
Dude, that's sick.
It's not long, but it's like jam packed with stuff of like, come on, dude. Ralph McQuarrie.
I love that artwork right there.
It's so good. Man. Bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, that's it for me.
Grayson, you got anything?
I got two things. I'll show the I gotta go get it first because it's been a while.
Wow, good job being prepared for a video.
Bro, it's like right there. It's 2 steps. Actually,
great. Look at the chat. The chat's roasting you.
1 step.
They said, "Look at his knees. Look at his knees." They're looking at your knees, bro. Oh my God.
Will already knows about this because I literally called him in.
Oh.
Yeah, don't even ask. Because I called him in Barnes and Noble. I found this on. You know about it too. I found it on a shelf randomly in Barnes and Noble, it was not even tagged or even it's not even on their website. It's like a reprint of the original trilogy like novelizations, but it's like off kilter. Thank you. I have great. I actually don't. My right knee is like really crackly. But
What
it's like
does that mean?
they pop, they snap, crackle, pop like Rice Krispies. But yeah. So anyway, that's the first thing. Pretty cool. I like that
That's
it's
dope.
VHS art. Where am I gonna put this thing? Ah, you go over there. Okay, and then the next thing. This is something I spent way too much money on, but I needed it in my collection.
Ooh.
AR Saber's creepy uncle. It's based on the Last Jedi version of Luke's hilt.
Your favorite movie?
Absolutely. Dude, this thing is nice. Also, like one thing that Luke's hilt in Last Jedi has that it's not in the other ones is these little holes kind of around the emitter.
Yeah.
And I think Obi-Wan's does that like throughout the movies, but not Luke's. But got a slightly deeper emitter, bigger blinky buttons. Dude, this thing is nice. And I turned it on earlier. It is loud.
That's dope.
That was my May 4th gift to myself.
Nice. So I got one thing. Well, there's like a million things, but just one thing. I got this morning. I went by the comic shop to see if they got anything new in, and I got this Darth Maul black, white, and red variant cover.
Ooh.
So I saw this one. I'm like, all right, I need all of them. So I grabbed this. I might bring this to Collecticon in 2 weeks to Orlando and have Ray Park sign this. I do have a plaque for Ray, but I think that look, he's just looking into your soul. So
that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I might have him sign this too. So, or I might September something. I mean, not September. It's May something. It's a Saturday. Is the 24th a Saturday or 25th? I don't know. I don't have calendars here in this place, but
dude, this is
yeah. Oh yeah.
Will killed it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but I got that. I also yesterday and on my lunch break from work, I waited in line to get tickets for Mark Hamill. I got tickets. I spent about 30 minutes on my lunch break just tearing up on the couch, like realizing I'm gonna get to meet Mark. I didn't even eat. I went back to work. I'm like, why am I starving? I'm like, oh yeah. But I got the photo and the auto. So I'm gonna meet freaking Luke in August, which is like unreal, bro.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. I gotta hold it in when I meet him, but as soon as I walk away, it's gonna be a baby, just tears. It's gonna be crazy.
Is it now? Are you getting a photo op or just a signature?
Both, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm not.
Both.
I'm like, this is.
What are you gonna get signed? That's the thing. It's that plaque, right?
That plaque, that Return of the Jedi plaque. Yeah. I'm gonna get that signed. So
I'm not a big like. I mean, yeah, I know you're like really into it. I'm not a big plaque guy myself, but that one plaque that you have for it is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna have? Like, where do you normally put your plaques at?
Wherever I feel like, baby. I could have it with some Hot Toys behind it, with the lightsaber behind it, with some Funkos behind it. I could switch it up. That's why I like the plaques.
So I guess this is recent news because I guess this was after. I can't remember. I guess this was after last week. Are you gonna get that Dark Empire Luke and maybe put it in front of that?
Oh, I kind of wanted that. That would look dope. That would look sick. Or just get a really badass, accurate Luke lightsaber to have displayed with it. So either way, it'll be something cool. But like Ricky also got tickets. Jose from General Kenobi's bunker also got tickets. So we're all gonna meet up out there. And then I hit up Redney. I'm like, bro, do you like Luke? You want to come to the panel and look at Luke?
I don't think he likes Luke.
Yeah, so it should be a vibe in August. I'm excited. I'm very poor now, but it's okay because it's like
money comes back.
It's exactly, bro. So
I think well, Connor said he was going to try to join you guys, but I don't think he was able to get tickets because I mean, like you said, Luke is rare. So
yeah. So the autos all sold out. The photos for Saturday, Sunday are still there. They sold out for Friday though. So yeah.
Will they let you do? I mean, I know from my limited experience. I'm sure they'll at least have like if you can get autos, or maybe you could probably also get a selfie at the table, right?
No. He doesn't offer that. Yeah, not every person offers that. Depending on who they are, yeah, like those the high-end ones like Hayden, Hewen, Mark, they don't offer that at the table, but like at the other
Okay.
table, like voice actors and like other ones, they offer that sometimes.
Gotcha.
But now these guys are photo op. They have an exclusive area. They're separate from the other photo ops. It's like the FBI, bro, is running it.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. I mean,
Yeah,
it is
bruh.
Mark Hamill, so
I know. I don't know what to expect because it's so funny. Because like,
I mean, I would be like out of any actor to me, like I think especially because he's like original trilogy and
Yeah.
he's like he's I mean he's an older gentleman. I would be like, and he gets harassed a lot by fans. Like I don't if you remember when they did, I think it was the Walk of Fame, the star for Carrie. Do you remember seeing that video of like paparazzi just like coming after him? That was like horrible.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would be so nervous to be like, oh, I don't want to be like off-putting to him, right?
Yeah.
But it'll be good.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And like this dude is rare. Like he did San Fran Fan Expo last year, but Black Friday weekend. But before that, the last time was 2017 Celebration. So it's like this dude.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like who knows? He's like a hermit. He's gonna go back to Octu for another 8 years after this. Who knows? Like shit. I'm not.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, and it was funny. I saw this that he was gonna be there during the pod race scene when I was watching Phantom Menace. So I'm watching the pod race on the big screen. I'm like, oh my God, Mark. And I'm booking like a hotel, buying tickets to the show at the same time while watching Anakin win. It was like such a Star Wars moment. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But let's get into the chat and then we could get into the fun stuff we got. So Jake76, what up, Jake?
Hashtag games, baby.
Let's go. Zeus, hello there. We got Paul in the building. We have Quinlan Voss. Hello there.
Quinlan was here.
And
Guys, who am I? I love that show. My initials are GL.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Cole, what's up, boys? Welcome.
George Lopez.
Oh, what's up? Paul, I'm gonna be the first person that subs to him on YouTube to put a selfie on his shirt. Who are you talking about? Me? Huh?
Yeah, you lost all your subscribers today, buddy.
Oh, hey, they come and go. Grayson has the best hat. He's just saying that because he has it. Come
Yeah,
on,
no,
Will. You're not
we're
slick.
interlinked like that.
What up, fellas? What up, Ordinary Christian? That's for you, Grayson. Hello there. What up, Brooke? We got Darth Rebo in the building.
Are you gonna be in that Lego What If? Because if Darth Jar Jar's there, Darth Rebo sure can.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a good call out.
Malekith, what's up, guys? What up?
Best MCU villain.
Grayson is Love the Mortis Hands t-shirt. Oh, you're slick. I see
Where
you
did
there.
you get that? Is that a Jedi Kalen?
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even gonna pick it up until like it was sitting there for a couple weeks, and I was like, it's calling to me. So.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would actually be a sick tattoo.
Shout out to
tempt me.
Noah, Rogue Nation. So he just lost his Hayden virginity.
What?
Oh, okay. Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, hold on. Let me bring it up real quick.
I saw
like,
on May 4th, this smug son of a gun.
Like, so if you're gonna meet the chosen one, you meet him on his birthday, May 4th, basically. But yeah, this was at Philly Fan Expo.
Dude,
so
I don't know
dope.
why Hayden always like, even though it's he has like kind of random clothing, he always looks so drippy. Like, I don't know why.
Dude, he is dripped out. The sneakers, sock
Those are
combo right
sick.
there. What are
Dude, he looks like he's about to go to a hockey game after this.
Like, he is like a streetwear pro.
He
Yeah.
looks like what Shia LaBeouf wanted to look like back in the day when Shia LaBeouf was wearing all those crazy outfits.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf was just homeless,
But nah, that's so dope. He also was hanging out with the entire Clone Wars, this selfish guy, and met
Whoa.
Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and every clone trooper and got all their autographs.
That print is sick.
Yeah,
I see people. I see people with that print. Like, even at South Carolina Comic-Con, people had that print and MegaCon.
I think it was a free print he picked up at the table. So like, I was watching his video. He said he grabbed it because he just was gonna get Rex's autograph. So he grabbed the print and he was like, "Well, I have this. It'd be wrong not to get all of their autographs." And then he just hopped in line and got the whole set. So
that's
dope. Yeah, super dope. He had a blast. Lucky guy. And I'm here with Grayson right now. Hey, Grayson.
Yo, okay, what's up, man?
Does that mean I'm Hayden?
Lost.
Oh yeah, we read that already. Nick, what up? Hey, I finally made it to a live. What up? What up? What up, Patrick? Welcome to the stream.
Well, you're a funny guy.
Tony, did the new Darth Maul sideshow release have layaway options? I don't see one. It should. But
That mall looks nice.
yeah, the mall is nice. I'll probably get it.
That face sculpt.
Be gorgeous. What's up, boys? Listening at work right now. What's up, crew? With your Thrawn. Quinlan says, hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
What up, Caleb? Was able to meet him at San Fran last year. Such a nice dude. Totally worth the price of admission. I'm at a loss for Star Wars celebrities. When I saw him, I just froze and was like, that's Luke Skywalker. I think I'm gonna freeze, man. I just hope that I could like get words out. Like come on, man. That's nuts. That's
Caleb,
so
I
dope.
see you got that Superman profile picture. You know, I'm sure you were stoked because it was Joker as well. The best Joker.
Yeah, the best Joker.
Dude wore his finest joggers. Oh, to see you. Yes. Nah, not yet. But maybe one day I'll get it. We'll see. We'll see.
How many hot shoes do you have, Tony?
Not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. But hey,
two.
It was like double that because it was 2 detox worth. I actually was responsible and sold a whole detox worth because I'm like, this is a bad addiction. It's like cocaine. You don't stop. So I got rid of half and I kept some. So I try to stay away, but yeah, because you can't just get one.
How many do you have pre-ordered right now?
Well, just 2, but like I just said, you can't just get one because I got Shin, but she'll be all alone without Balin. So I got Shin and Balin. So
yeah, they're separated now. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, whatever. I did pre-order both though. Yeah,
I know you did.
All right, so what are we getting into first? The George stuff, the Tails stuff. What do you guys want to go first with?
We can talk about Tails first.
Will, I want to know what you thought because I don't think in the group chat you really said anything. What did you think of Tales of the Empire?
I didn't say much about Tales of the Empire.
Were you saving it for now because you're so excited about it?
Tales of the Empire is a TV show. It is a Disney Plus project that Star Wars made that you can currently watch on Disney Plus.
There's no excitement at all in your voice, so I clearly could tell you didn't.
I feel like I had the mindset that I was like, Will is probably just gonna feel very just middle of the road on this show, just like
whatever. I honestly like. I watched it and I was like, "Oh, cool," and that was really it. Like, I didn't watch it and I wasn't mad about it, right? I thought what we got was pretty cool. It was cool to see the backstory of stuff, but like, you know, when you're playing like the Arkham games and there's like you go into like a police station and then there's like audio recordings about like the backstory of one of the villains. And you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, ooh, that's weird. It's creepy. You get more insight over the overall story, and it's cool that it's there, but it's not like the reason you get the game. That's what Tales of the Empire feels like as an entire show, where it's like, oh, this is cool backstory, but like we really didn't get an incredible amount other than like Morgan was involved in the TIE Defender project. Other than that, we saw how Barris's story ends, but like the second Barris episode and the last Barris episode are like there's that thing about jazz where like jazz is so great because of the notes you don't play. Tales of the Empire is great because of the stuff you don't see in the middle. I want to see what happens between that second episode with Barris and that last episode with Barris where she becomes the Force healer and like starts to learn about like that was the stuff where I wanted to see. It was just like we jumped and I was like, oh, that's cool. But then by the time I was like invested in what was going on with Barris's story, it ended.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I like had fun with it. With parts of it I really liked, like the connectivity and stuff to Rebels, to the Mando episode and stuff. Like it was dope. Like Bo-Katan was on the mic on that episode at the end of that episode, which means she told Ahsoka, and then Bo told Mando to go there because Ahsoka's there doing this. Like those
Yeah.
tie-ins were cool, but at the end, I did not feel the same way I did after Tales of the Jedi. After Tales of the Jedi, I was happy, satisfied, ear to ear, smiling. But this didn't have me feeling that way. But it's not like I hated it, but it didn't make me feel like Tales did, like Jedi did.
Here's what everyone like. I've been thinking about this lately, right? And here's the thing with Tales of the Empire is I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
However, like we were talking about it in the group chat, I feel like I enjoyed it more than most people because I think everyone was going in, and I don't blame people, at least with the Barriss episodes and stuff, but people were naturally going in expecting the comparison to the Tales of the Jedi, because Tales of the Jedi is phenomenal, right? Tales of the Jedi is also about two A to S list, like S tier list characters. It's Dooku and Ahsoka, right? Those are two of, in my opinion, some of the coolest and most interesting characters in Star Wars. And Dooku, like the story we get with him, almost felt like it's, at least the last episode was one that I think we almost always kind of wish we had gotten in the prequels, so it felt so essential. Tales of the Empire, I'll be honest, it's about two C-list characters. It's Morgan Elsbeth, who really just walked around and did this the whole time in Ahsoka, and then Barriss. And I will say, like, I think a lot of people are also expecting Barriss, like I see in the comments, people are like, oh, I didn't like that she flipped back to the good again. To be honest, that is fully, I didn't expect her to come back to the good side, but I did expect her to not vibe with the Inquisitors long at all, because
100%.
the entire reason she bombs the temple is because she thinks that the Jedi are going on the wrong path. They're turning into the Empire. Why would she side herself with the Empire? So it's a thing of like Tales of the Empire. These two stories are, I think the first two Morgan Elsbeth episodes were cool. I wish the third one was her getting to know Balin and maybe even resurrecting Marach. Like the third episode of Morgan Elsbeth, I'm like, okay, like it just sets up the Mando season 2 episode and that's it. And then Barriss is like, it's cool. That first episode is awesome, but you can tell like people are like, oh, she's like force choking that guy or whatever, the other Padawan. Then she just like starts good, and I'm like, no, you can tell. In that first episode, she is hesitant. Like she can tell something is off with this. Her hand was kind of forced. It's just like I think naturally taking away the I mean, and I'll be honest, like Tales of the Jedi completely blows Tales of the Empire out of the water. Like it's like those Dooku episodes alone. Like Dooku was always one of my favorite characters. But like when you compare those characters to Morgan and Barriss, who are cool characters, like they have interesting lore, but even in Clone Wars, Barriss is in like maybe a grand total of like, I don't know, 6-7 episodes at the most, and Morgan,
most of the Barriss lore was before the Clone Wars series in like the Jedi Healer books and like the stuff with like Barriss was a big deal for like after the Battle of Geonosis and like the Gendy Tartakovsky stuff. Like Barriss has been around. It's just when it came time for Clone Wars, I think the biggest thing, and I agree with you totally, Grayson. Like I didn't mind it. I'm not angry that we got it, right? I really enjoy that we have it. It's cool to watch. Like if I ever go back and watch those. That second season Mando episode with Ahsoka is one of my favorite episodes of Star Wars television of all time. It's fantastic. The rewatch value on just that episode is great. So like I can watch the Morgan Elsbeth stuff before that and be like, okay, cool. This will set it up and it might hit a little bit better come time for that episode. But like, I think in my mind, seeing in the trailer, like Tales of the Jedi burn up and turn into Tales of the Empire, two things with that are like, one, outside of the TIE Defender stuff and like Thrawn,
Morgan is so
Barriss
flat, dude.
And Barriss becoming an Inquisitor and then immediately not. There like wasn't a lot to do with the Empire.
Yeah.
I think when you look at like Tales of the Jedi and that being that moniker of Jedi being there, it fits because both Ahsoka and Dooku were Jedi at one point, and then are now towards the end of their lives and their stories, they don't consider themselves Jedi anymore, and they left the Order for completely different reasons.
Right.
But that's the
One
similarity
goes up
between
and
the
one
two.
goes down.
Exactly, like the moral compass of why they left the Jedi Order, it makes that Tales of the Jedi title so cool. Also, too, like comparatively for like Dooku erasing Kamino from the databanks, Ahsoka learning the move that ends up saving her throughout the Clone Wars and then in Clone Wars Season 7. Ahsoka at Padme's funeral. Like, there were so many moments that Dooku and Qui-Gon, Dooku and Mace Windu, like
Dooku and Yaddle.
And Yaddle, like there were so many moments in Tales of the Jedi where I was like, my jaw was on the floor. Like, I can't believe they're giving this to us. Like, what a gift that they're giving this to us, and they're satiating this part of this of us as fans of like, I never thought we were going to see this, or like even thought that that was an option to see one day, and then they gave it to us in such spectacular color. However, when it comes to Tales of the Empire, the building out of these two characters' stories is cool. It just, I can't in my mind think of Tales of the Jedi I can't think of Tales of the Empire as Tales of the Jedi Season 2. They feel like such different projects outside of the animation that like it's fine, but it's like in my ranking for animated series, like it's above Star Wars Resistance, but like Tales of the Jedi might be my favorite Star Wars animated project, then Clone Wars, then Rebels. I know, Grayson, you're probably flipped with Rebels there, but like I like the 2003 Gendy Clone Wars way more than I like Tales of the Empire.
These stories, like, again, I said Morgan feels very flat, and it's like she's like, oh, I want revenge, but it's like, okay, the CIS has already departed. Like, you are now part of the Empire, so you're just mad because you want to prove that you're strong enough. Like, and it just feels kind of very one note and flat. Where on the other end, I think I really like that Barriss is kind of like this. You know, she goes through this kind of these peaks and valleys. I think that's very interesting. But these stories feel like, you know, there's a Star Wars Insider and the magazines back in like the 2010s and stuff. They would release these short stories of like, you know, little one-off stories that were not essential, but like they did one for Dark Disciple, they did one for Plagueis, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when Tenebrous' perspective of when he gets killed by Plagueis, or and then Dark Disciple was like it's like based on this one line of her beating this pirate. It's like, oh, it's cool, but like, when you think about like, okay, what are we going to put the money and the effort into telling these stories? It is like, now seeing them, I'm like, didn't need them. Like, you know, like I really didn't. Like I would have I would have much rather. I mean, even if it was they had kept the Morgan episodes, like, I mean, but you know, we speculated for months, years even, about like, okay, what will Tales of the Jedi Season 2 be about? And I don't think Tales of the Empire is technically Tales of the Jedi Season 2, because I do think they will go back to Tales of the Jedi. But I'm like, I mean, we wanted well, there's separate listings on Disney Plus, and so like.
Yeah, but I think this is what is going to be considered the Tales of the Jedi Season 2, like the next season of it. Even how the title screen burns out from Tales to Empire.
Yeah,
I think they might keep that going in for every single one. I would love to be wrong, because I'd rather get a Tales Jedi Season 2.
I mean, even if it is another show, right? Like if it's like Tales, like, I mean, we've talked about Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Like there's like that like PNG of like all those different Tales things, and some of them are serious, and then some of them
Tales
like,
of the Star Wars.
That one I kills me. I'm like, it says Star Wars, Tales of the Star Wars. I'm like, that is so funny. But like, I mean, come on, we like out of anybody out of Ahsoka or that Ahsoka story, like we wanted Balin's backstory, right?
Yeah,
Shin would have been cool. Like, you know, there's we talked about what other Jedi there could have been, whether it's like Plo Koon or Quinlan Voss, or we talked about Ventress after, exactly. And so it's like, it's Yeah, like I'm again, like what Will said, I'm not mad. Like like for me, it's like a 7 out of 10 where I'm like, that's good. Like it's fine. Like I just, when you have the expectation or the comparison in mind to Tales of the Jedi, where like that last episode, that last Dooku episode, this is even compared to like Rebels, is my favorite like animated episode of all time. Will, you put out a post about like the Outpost being like the best animated episode. That's pretty up there. But I'm like the episode with Dooku and Yaddle and his like him erasing the.
Ooh,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's an incredible episode.
Yeah.
I was like
Wars.
that
yeah.
15, 16 minutes right there. I mean, from the music to the animation to the performances, just to what it does to the overall plot is like, I mean, literally, it is one of those things where I'm like, when you put like the very last episode of Clone Wars and like, handful, like the Twilight of the Apprentice episode and Rebels, like in that like pantheon of like best animated episodes, that one is in there. And it's like Tales of the
Yeah.
Empire is like, like it's fine.
Yeah.
This is an interesting thought. I think they worked on this before Ahsoka was even
One of my
finished
friends
being
mentioned
written.
that.
That's interesting of like they
Oh.
picked Morgan, like maybe if that came out between Mando season, like obviously Mando season 2 was a million years ago, but like Mando season 2 and the Ahsoka series, maybe Morgan would have hit a little bit different come time for Ahsoka. I think something too that like it's more for us as fans of like people who spend their time speculating about what's going to happen in Star Wars, but like Barriss and Morgan being picked. Obviously, Morgan Elsbeth played a large part in Ahsoka. Barriss
Not seen her.
like we haven't seen her, but like so many people were speculating that Barriss was going to show up in Ahsoka. Was Barriss the hooded figure in Mando season 2 on that boat when they're all? Do you remember those theories of like?
Yeah.
I think it's Casca
It was
has
Costa
the hood
Reeves.
on,
Casca,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
yeah,
everybody's like,
yeah.
"Is that Barriss?" Like all of this, people
Yeah.
have been wanting Barriss to come back for so long. Where like
Marak Barris.
is Marak Barriss? Like it's just interesting that they chose those two characters that like in the universe of Star Wars, like they're very close to Ahsoka's orbit, but the story
Well, yeah.
itself didn't really. The stories are very self-serving for their characters. However, for like Tales of the Jedi, I feel like those stories help so much the overall story of Star Wars, where like Barriss's story and Morgan's story, we know how Morgan's stories end. Like seeing where her story starts is interesting, but it doesn't really affect where we know her from in Mando season 2 and then in the Ahsoka series. Like, if you don't watch the first 3 episodes of Tales of the Empire about Morgan, you really don't need to in terms of like seeing her character later on. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really affect how you view her. However, when it comes to Barriss, her story takes place completely separate from the rest of the galaxy. You know what I mean? Like the mission she was going on outside of her being trained by the GI at that one point and like sitting and kneeling in front of Vader, like those 3 episodes are completely isolated from, I feel like, the entirety of the Star Wars timeline overall.
Yeah. It's even because it's like that builds up the 4th sister, and you're like, that's a character that literally showed up for the first time in Kenobi, and that's really it. And that's cool. Like, I like that we get a little bit more backstory with that Inquisitor, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah, when I was watching it, I was like, this feels so separated, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You're just kind of like I watched it with my dad, and we were both kind of like, oh, okay, I guess that's it.
Do you think Barriss off screen reconciled with Ahsoka? Because like she made that comment in that last episode that to like take them to a friend or something like that. I forgot what she said.
Someone asked in our live stream back on Sunday, and they were like, do you think her and Ahsoka at this point in time have met? And she's apologized. And I'm like, I think they had to have.
I think so too.
Because she even mentions at the end of the episode, she says like, "Oh,
Yeah.
like she's like, take them to my old friend." Like,
yeah, like who's
which
that?
Could be that one Jedi in the 2nd episode, but like, I mean, I could go 50-50 on the matter, but like,
Yeah,
considering it looks like Barriss is so much older now,
she
like,
looked old.
yeah, and I don't know what that. I mean, maybe that's just because of the planet she's on, like the stress has aged her and stuff. But like, I'm not saying for certain. Like, it could just be that they've never bumped paths. But I feel like Ahsoka is so out and about in the galaxy after she gets back into, like, once she becomes Fulcrum, she's out there, right? She's doing missions, she's bringing in people, like, and we don't really know the timeline of that episode. It's hard to say. Maybe one day we'll get an answer. I don't really need one, but
Yeah.
like, I'm kind of at this point where, like, I think we were for so many years, like you were talking about, people were speculating, is Barriss this person, is that person, like, is it the second sister in Fallen Order, like,
Yeah.
all of these different characters. Now that the story has happened, while I don't dislike the story, I think it's cool. I think it's complex and nuanced. I don't think I like when sometimes the stories aren't necessarily black and white. I'm like, I don't need, even it's ambiguous at the end, right? If Barriss even lives, and
I was
and you're
just
just
about
kind of
to
like, I
say.
don't really care anymore. Like,
She's probably alive. She got stabbed like Reva and Sabine. She's fine.
I don't know. It's
She's
pretty
not
close to
dead.
the Qui-Gon area.
Nah, bro, she's fine.
The Qui-Gorgons. If we had heard something from like when we were going to see Asajj in Bad Batch, and like the voice actor and everything was going on, was like, this isn't the last you're going to see of Asajj.
Yeah.
If we just got that little nugget from somebody of like, this isn't the end of Barriss's story, like they're at least going to fill in those gaps or show how she helped out with stuff, like that she is referred to as, that's what I was going to bring up, is like that she's referred to as the healer is very interesting, because that's a lot of her power set from before they brought
I was about to say, isn't that
forward.
that was kind of her thing? Like, there's that cover of that, like, I think it's like a kid's book. It's like a young Jedi apprentice book, and like Barriss is like healing a clone.
No, that's a Legends book. So that takes place after it's called Jedi Healer, and it's a duology, and there's a book that takes place before that. It's Barriss and like a bunch of glup shido Star Wars named characters of like Dougal and just like, all right, Star Wars characters. But the story takes place, I think, 2 years after the Battle of Geonosis. Yeah, this one right here. And the story that Michael Reeves told, I think the first one is like Jedi Surgeons or something like that, or Surgeon Commandos or something like that, where she's with a bunch of doctors and this droid, and they're sent off to this planet, and the whole thing is like, there's this new medicine drug that apparently is like it's like this fountain of youth style drug, where no matter what your ailment is, if you take this, it's called BOTA, BOTA. Yes, this is Battle Surgeons. So whatever you take this drug, it will fix your ailment. And Barriss is sent off. This is like one of her first missions away from Luminara, and she's with this group, and they have to save a bunch of things, and they have to figure out who the mystery guy is, and who the whoever, like, who is in charge of this, and like the Black Sun is in it, and all of this stuff, where like there's a ton of crime syndicate stuff, and at one point Jabba's like cousin is in it. It's insane. For like, it's definitely a Star Wars Legends book, where like it takes a
that also makes sense, because Michael Reeves wrote Darth Maul Shadowhunter, and a lot of that stuff pops up in that book.
But Barriss gets addicted to that BOTA, BOTA, I think it is, that drug. And instead of healing her ailment, because she didn't have anything wrong with her, she like becomes incredibly enlightened with the Force. And the terminology is like, she can see the patchwork of the galaxy through the Force, and like she has these visions of the grand picture of what's going on with the Force. And she has this like inner monologue of, this is so incredibly powerful. I've never felt this way before. I feel fantastic. But she also is like, it fits into her fall to the dark side of like becoming addicted to this thing that she has this enlightenment with. So it's like the equivalent of like Star Wars LSD, or like Star Wars meth, of like, you're going to feel awesome, but it's probably not good for you, which a lot of people take this as like the precursor to why she started to slip to the dark side for where she comes up in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Because like outside of where she comes from in the Clone Wars, this takes place directly before that. But her being addicted to this drug, Boda, and her starting to have that inner monologue of like, this is probably bad for me. Is this what falling to the Sith is like? Of like, it's not necessarily doing bad things, but having the moral question of, is what I'm doing good for me? However, is it selfish and self-serving? So a lot of people think that it's just insane. I just think it's very cool that they use the term healer again, since like even in card games, Barriss was referred to as the Jedi healer, where like if you're playing a tabletop game and you throw her card down, it's like, okay, my army's back to full health.
Interesting.
It's cool.
Okay. Yeah, they even have a class of Jedi in like the High Republic that are healers, like Barriss, and I think that's kind of where that came from. That's so interesting. I did not know there was a whole backstory to her being like a healer in.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, apparently in the Battle of Geonosis, she's listed as one of the main healers. So like any Jedi that were wounded in the Battle of Geonosis, they were sent to Barriss, and rather than her like fighting, really, she had like a med bay where they would come back and she would aid with the force healing of those Jedi that were hurt in the Battle of Geonosis and Attack of the Clones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, bro. Barriss got. I did not think Barriss had that much lore in Legends.
But that's exactly it. It's like she has so much backstory, but then we get a show like this where it's like, okay, she became Inquisitor. All right, she was conflicted with becoming an Inquisitor. Okay, she died.
Or did she?
Oh yeah.
I guess we'll see. But real quick, let me say what up to the chat because a bunch more people just popped in. So let's see who just popped in. Billy's in the building. What up, fools? What up, Billy? Tariq's in the building. What's up? Everest Productions. Hello there. Look at that whale. Free Willy, baby.
Look at that whale.
What up, Ricky? Shout out to Ricky. He just hit 1K the other day. This guy is Mr. Big.
Woo! Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky.
I heard Ricky kicked you off of Rebel Collectors. I heard he's the only host now.
If you watched it, which you didn't because you're fake, I guess. But I was on a cruise. What did he say at the beginning where I was? I was on a cruise.
You were on a cruise on Mustafar. Who watches your shit?
Yeah, bro. That's where I was.
He off and sent you on a cruise. He said, hey, take some vacation time. I got this. And
yeah, PTO. I got to use it. I'll be back next week. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
Dan Stone, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeet, the trees in the building.
Yeet.
SBC Unleashed, what up, Austin? Kenobi, in my opinion, is too overrated. Oh, we're gonna get into it.
Overhated.
It's overhated. It's better than that stupid Andor show. Sorry, not sorry. Ha 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 ha. Grayson.
You know what? SBC Unleashed. I was gonna be like, you know what? Maybe this guy is a nice, positive guy, and then you decided to say something stupid. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You're entitled to your opinion.
What up, Metro? Welcome. Tyler's in the building. Who else popped in? Let's see who else. And a lot of people really didn't like Tales too much of the Empire.
I've been seeing that a lot, and that's fun. I'll be honest. The more I've thought about it, the more I'm like, yeah, it's fun.
It's like the Andor effect. You either love it or you don't love it. It's like split.
Yeah.
Faceless Entertainment. Howdy. Legion of Maul. What up? What up, Legion of Maul? Look what I got. It's you. At last, we reveal ourselves.
Legion of Maul, I don't say what up to you since you only directed your what up to Tony.
Damn.
I don't say what up to you.
Well, now we're going to make our new show. Light Side Mythos.
Well, more like Light Side Jabronis. Kevin, what up? What's going on, boys? Kevin in the building. Sir Gunji. How y'all feeling about the Acolyte? Sith guy looking cool. We'll probably talk about that last.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I want his helmet.
I like a good helmet. Yeah. What up, Matzi? Yo. And then what up, Mechanized? I like Tales of the Empire. Yeah, I enjoyed parts of it.
Me too.
For sure. All right. So what is up with this Kenobi show, guys? Will, you said you had the interview that George Lucas liked Kenobi.
Yeah, Pablo Hidalgo says that George really liked. Here, let me scroll it back. So Pablo Hidalgo from the Star Wars story group, Lucasfilm story group, was on. They did this thing for Make-A-Wish on May the 4th. May the 4th be wish you with Make-A-Wish, which is really cool. But they interviewed Pablo Hidalgo for it's like a half-hour interview about a ton of stuff. But they asked about Kenobi, and let me pull it up. And apparently George had a lot to say about the Kenobi series. Let me go back to where are we?
I got deleted in the Twitter snap by Pablo Hidalgo.
You what?
What?
We'll get into it in a second.
What? No, say that again. What happened?
What?
Okay. Did any of you guys follow Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter years ago?
No.
Yeah, he's the guy who said all that stuff while Theory was crying, right?
That was one thing. That was after the fact. But he on Twitter, he had a lot of followers, and people would tweet him questions and stuff. I remember my buddy asked him this, how does Darth Maul poop if he doesn't have his stuff anymore? And he was basically said he shits on Twitter or something. And we were like, okay. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Then after Infinity War, he was getting I think he was getting fed up with fans and stuff like that. So he did a thing where Thanos snapped half of his followers and then went private. So if you got you would get blocked, and then he made his account private. So only half of his followers stayed. But then he ended up making another account years down the line. It was a whole thing. It was wild.
And you were in your feelings because he blocked you?
I didn't care. Because it was random. It wasn't like he went through and he's like, I hate this guy. Oh, I hate this guy. It was just literally
I think he selected you. I was like, oh,
I
Grayson.
think he knew it was you, Grayson.
Yeah.
There was one time I asked him a question, and we had a very good. I talked about why was C-3PO matte in the sequels, and he's actually C-3PO is only shiny in A New Hope. He's actually a matte gold in Empire and A New Hope, and I was like, I never knew that. Thank you for educating me. So.
Oh, so he's your best friend. Then bring him on. Send him the StreamYard link.
Yeah. Well, I don't even get on Twitter anymore. X, sorry.
Well,
anyway,
Pablo Hidalgo said this about George Lucas
versus something like Andor
You guys can hear that, right?
Yeah.
that has more original pieces.
Yeah, Obi-Wan was very much more, what's the phrase, dancing between the raindrops of it all, right? It's there was smaller gaps of free space in there to tell us things we didn't know. And even if we were going to tell us things that we didn't know and that fit, but ultimately, physically and mathematically fit, you are dealing more with a realm that people have imagined, and that people have really built a strong sense of assurance of, I know what happened between these gaps, and so there were a couple of elements that that ultimately gave us the confidence to move forward. Part of that was interfacing with George. Honestly, early on, there was a conversation had with George over what his thoughts were, and whether or not, honestly, he'd balk at the whole concept of, we're taking Obi-Wan and Vader again, and we're doing this, and he was 100% supportive. And I've heard tell that it's been one of the favorite things that's come out of Star Wars, is because he recognizes so much of what he did in the prequels basically brought forward and celebrated in a way that I'm sure surprised them. I'm so glad that everyone who was involved in the prequels is really feeling the appreciation that was put into that series, because that's 100% there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pablo Hidalgo, he has some extreme. I'm responding to James Tilly. Sorry, if I'm mispronouncing that. He has some kind of extreme takes and stuff. There's some, Will mentioned back in the Mandalorian stuff. He kind of made a jab at him for crying. That's a whole other thing. There's some things that I'm but in terms of it being a storyteller and being an educated person, he really does know his stuff as being a story group person. And so hearing this, and them kind of talking with George, it honestly, I'm not surprised that George likes Kenobi. I feel like it is right up his wheelhouse. And honestly, hearing that George likes it makes me appreciate it more, because Kenobi is one of those out of the group of projects we have gotten on Disney Plus, whether live action or animated, was one of the few that I definitely had mixed feelings on, to say the least. But like, my dad loves Kenobi. Like we talk about, I mean, a couple things that he rewatches Kenobi all the time. And I'm like, I'm like putting that in my mind of like, you know, my dad grew up with the original trilogy and whatnot, and how much he loves that. I'm like, you know, honestly, I think it makes sense that George likes it as much as he does. And honestly, that makes me happy. And as a George fan, like that makes me want to go back and rewatch Kenobi kind of in the eyes of George Lucas in a way, and be like, let's see what maybe George is thinking about this. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
It's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really it's I forget which video I was watching, but I was listening to somebody talk about this, and they made a really good point. Maybe it was Star Wars Meg made a really good point that like there's that thing of, oh, what if George was in charge of the sequels? And it's like George had wild ideas of where Star Wars was going to continue to go. I mean, you look at the original trilogy to the prequels of like the stuff that was doubled down on in terms of aliens and ships and midi-chlorians and like just design-wise and the aesthetic of Star Wars that changed over that amount of time, that moving forward after the original trilogy, like the guy had wild sci-fi ideas of where Star Wars was going to go. So
one of the biggest things was like I remember this was one of the things that I really, you know, I love George Lucas, but one of the things that I really did not like that was probably in the direction it was going to go towards was they were going to explore the microscopic realm of the Force and like the Mandalorians. And I'm like, honestly, glad we didn't get that. Like that does not intrigue me.
That's where I'm like, I always wonder about that, and I'm like, would it have been like the quantum realm?
That's what I'm like.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or would it have been like a documentary that you watch in school of like, this is the mitochondria. The mitochondria move throughout. Like, is it about like it's gonna be like a science documentary, or like I was always interested of like how it works. Where it's like, is it actually about the cells of midichlorians, or there are like people
I mean, from what I knew, there were people in midichlorians who were responsible for the Force, and I was like,
that's crazy.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
I think in his later drafts with like Luke and Leia and everything, like Maul coming back, I think I don't think that was going to be in there, but one of his like, I know in some of his concepts that was going to be a thing, but not that has anything to do with Kenobi, but I think people maybe tend to forget that George, like you said, he had some wild ideas even from OT to prequel trilogy, and then especially what was going to happen with the prequel trilogy after that.
And the stuff too that he did during Clone Wars of like wanting to like just like learn more about or show us more about exploring Force ghosts of like Qui-Gon and stuff, of like bringing that back, of seeing like
Mortis is one of the most wild things we've ever gotten in Star Wars.
That's insane.
Imagine
only seeing the original trilogy, not watching the prequels, and then being like, oh yeah, I really liked Star Wars back in the day, and you just happen to turn on Cartoon Network and it's the Mortis Gods episodes. You'd be like, what?
It's like going back to the 1800s and giving a kid a Mountain Dew, you know? Like,
exactly. It's like, here's an iPhone, get ready. Victorian child versus iPhone reaction. But honestly, at the end of the day, like, it's cool that George liked it as much as he did, because regardless of if you liked Kenobi, this guy created Star Wars. So my perspective on it is like, if George liked something, it's better than I would rather him like something that I don't like in terms of Star Wars and be in his creation, than it be like, well, I don't like it. George hated it. Cool. I'm vindicated in my hatred.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, should I not like this now? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's super cool. It makes me want, like I said, it makes me want to go watch Kenobi and listen, I think one of the earliest comments was that Kenobi was overhated. And I agree. Now, do I think it's a very imperfect project? Yes, but there's a lot of gold in there, you know. And you strip it down to just Kenobi and Vader. The stuff in there with those two is 10 out of 10. It's just kind of the stuff surrounding it. That's kind of how I feel about The Last Jedi in a weird way, where I'm like, oh, the stuff with like Rey, Kylo, and Luke, love that stuff. It's everything else that I'm like, Canto Bite and the Saving What We Love and I don't okay.
I would love a Kenobi season 2. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I was thinking about that like today as I was working. I was like, honestly, if we got something akin to like John Jackson Miller's novel, which I have yet to read, but something like that where it's literally just, hey, it's just Ewan McGregor this time dealing with the Hutts on Tatooine and like crime syndicates and stuff. Like, I'm all in on that. That'd be awesome.
Tony, did you pre-order that hot toy, the Old Man Kenobi hot toy?
No, so that's not a hot toy. I think it's a
That's the statue.
premium format statue, which I think
I thought it was a hot
costs
toy.
more.
Is that
But
the one that has the old Ben
statue,
and the Ewan?
It comes with an interchangeable head from Alex's head to Ewan's head. Yeah,
I wonder if that would be in a point that sends us closer to a Kenobi season 2.
Dude, this would I like the fact that it comes with an old Ewan and an old Alec Guinness is so cool.
That thing is so sick.
I think it's
it.
crazy.
That look for Obi-Wan, which has been kind of it was like a statue thing from a long time ago, and then they actually put it in the Kenobi show where he has like the robe without the sleeves and stuff, is probably my favorite Obi-Wan look ever. Because it just like it has the sand goggles and it has the backpack. Like I think they
made that a hot toy, right? They made that hot toy a while ago, or like it's a figure of some sort. Right?
I think it's a Mythos Obi-Wan, but it's
it had like Qui-Gon's lightsaber on the belt or on the backpack.
Yeah,
dude.
And there's a back. He's like holding a backpack and like
that one goes.
Oh, that the one right there.
This is the one.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it is a figure. Yeah. 6-scale
That's the
figure.
old one. This is an old one.
Yeah. I love that it's also based on the comic book look of Obi. He has the cycler rifle too. Does it show the backpack? There's
and
one
the Clone Wars armor is on the backpack.
So fire, dude. There it is, the Qui-Gon saber. Oh, love that.
Dude, that's so sick.
Does Retney have that? Retney, you out there, brother? You got that? I know he would eat that up.
Yeah, he'd love that.
I love it. Oh, you even see the Anakin saber in there too, and the gaffy sticks.
Dude, that's so sick.
I love that. I would love to get a continuation like that.
If they made a Kenobi season 2, and honestly, with the original Kenobi series, this is what I wanted to see. Is like Hermit Obi-Wan, like, and at the end of that show where he goes off with Qui-Gon, like, I want old man Kenobi, like, before A New Hope, kind of going crazy, learning about the Force, learning how to become a Force ghost with Qui-Gon, and like, even if it was like a Tales of the Jedi style 15-minute, like 3-episode arc where they're each 15 minutes long, and you just get a little bit more info on that, I would love that.
Yeah, dude. That honestly, that'd be great. That would be, even if they didn't do a Kenobi season 2 and they just did that, and it was James Arnold Taylor to like it is Stephen Stanton who does the old Ben's voice in Rebels.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I would definitely take more Kenobi. Like, I enjoyed a lot of the show, and like
you get to be there with the audience with them, you know.
I was lucky to be at Anaheim Celebration and watch the first 2 episodes with the whole cast, which was nuts. Seeing it in an auditorium, 5,000 people at the same time, and the way that second episode ended with Vader in the back of the tank waking up, the crowd went nuts, and then the whole cast came out on stage. That was wild. But like, story-wise, I didn't mind most of it except for just the Reva stuff, how she survived the stab
and Grand Inquisitor too.
The Grand Inquisitor's look, but with Reva, if she would have died in that second fight, sacrificing herself, I think she would have been liked a lot more, because she's basically Trilla 2.0, and I love Trilla from the game. I freaking love Trilla, but the fact she's still alive, knows who Luke is, knows Anakin's Vader, knows where Luke like lives and everything, bro, grinds my gears, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think too, like, talking about the George liking the Kenobi stuff, is I was watching, it might have still been that Star Wars Meg video, but I know there were a couple of videos that were made about this where At one point in this interview, I guess Hidalgo talks about, or maybe it's from Hidalgo talking, I don't necessarily remember, but George being really happy with what they did with the Leia stuff in Kenobi.
I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Meg talked
Yeah.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah, which I think that's really cool because like a lot of people, I think one of the two most polarizing things in the Kenobi series are like the Reva stuff and then the young Leia stuff out of all of it. And I enjoyed the young Leia stuff for the most part. Obviously, I wasn't a fan of like 3 guys in a trench coat
the chase
running
scene.
away. Like that's not
Dude,
my favorite.
So yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chase scene where like obviously those
With the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Or like what? Yeah, dude. That is.
That's not my favorite.
So
But like
laughable.
Kenobi at the end being like telling Leia like the certain parts of her that remind him of her father and then of
Yeah.
Padme, like that stuff hits, dude.
Yes, yes, it did. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it hit.
I also, and I know a lot of people say like breaks canon, but I love the fact that like to me it makes sense of when you get to the moment in A New Hope where Leia is like sends that message. First of all, she's doing it in the case that like she doesn't want to create a personal connect. Like in the case it does get intercepted, doesn't want to create a personal connection to be like, I'm gonna play it safe. But also like she may think in her mind like, does he even remember me? Like it's been 10 years. Like he might have gone old and crazy on Tatooine. Like I don't know.
Or is he still even alive? Like do
Right.
they have like we don't know if at that point Leia and Bail Organa still had like a connection with Kenobi. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's, as far as we know, like they don't ever see him again, right?
No.
And so, yeah, and then I mean, the fact that she names her son after him is really cool. Like, is dope. But it does suck because, like, obviously, when he dies in A New Hope, she's not that like she's comforting Luke more than she needs to be comforted. But that's also the kind of character that Leia is, where she's gonna be like, when others are hurting, she's gonna like just like Padme, she's gonna comfort them, rather than like unless it really affects her personally, like Han being gone, like which is a moment where you see her at kind of an emotional low point. So to me, it always fit in. I think the Leia stuff is really good, and like you said, the ties to Padme and Anakin and things. I think it's neat. It's just like you said, Tony, the Reva stuff. Like honestly, I think if there was the one change that Reva died in that show, I think it would immediately bring it up like a couple points for me, where I'm like, all right, cool, she served her purpose.
That concept of Jedi turned Inquisitor is dope. Like it's a dope concept.
I just have a hard time of like Vader being like, I'm gonna let you sit here to die again. Like that's just not at this point in the timeline. This is prime peak Vader. Like I could not imagine him not being like, oh, you got away last time. I'm ending it now. In the same way that he kills Trilla in Survivor.
Yeah.
Survivor.
Especially because that is the whole reason why Anakin is alive right now is because Kenobi didn't finish him off on Mustafar #1, and then in 2 in the Kenobi show where he just walks away and he's like, I wipe my hands of this, which isn't necessarily my favorite play out of how that ended at the end of that show either. However, Vader, the mirror image and the opposites of like what Vader's choice is and what Kenobi's choice is obviously Kenobi has the wherewithal to be like, okay, I step back from this. I'm not going to kill you. Obviously, the same way Luke does in Return of the Jedi. But Vader is peak, like, I am going to kill you and make you hurt right now. So for him to just walk away and be like, all right, she's going to die. It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah. It's a weird character choice. Because I think other than that, Vader is written perfectly in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that scene when we first see him walking through the city and he's snapping necks, bro. What? That was terrifying. Like,
that is Vader. I mean, there's that like, dude, it's so good. That Vader in that show, like, I mean, him grabbing the ship, him dodging Reva, like just completely dunking on her, like pushing her lightsaber out of the way or like locking her in place. I'm like, that is so good.
And because of Kenobi, we got Hayden back and Hewan, but then we got more Hayden because Hayden had so much fun. So like that's why
Kenobi
we
was
got
the start
all the
of
Hayden.
the Hayden Renaissance. You know?
Yeah, man. So I'm fine with it. Yeah, man. I'm freaking fine with it.
Yeah, it's cool that
Yeah,
George likes
man.
it, and I, you know, like despite my critiques, like that makes me, like you said, Will, makes me. I would rather George have something that he likes that maybe I don't like as much because it's going to naturally maybe draw me towards that.
Yeah, because George left because of the fans. Like George sold that obviously because they backed up a Brinks truck filled with money to his house, and they were like, "Hey, can we have this, please, George Lucas?" But at the end of the day, George left because of the fans and him not wanting to deal with that loud minority of fans who weren't the greatest in
Right.
terms of like their own fandom of like, oh, George Lucas ruined Star Wars, you ruined my childhood. Like if I, at the end of the day, if I made 6 films and poured my heart and soul into it, that
Everybody hates
became
me.
this multi-million-dollar empire, and then all I hear are the loud majority of people, even from like the critics in the news during the
Yeah.
prequels, of hating on all of this, and like the hate that Hayden got and the hate that Jake Lloyd got, like
Ahmed Best.
Like it makes sense as to why George sold. So for him to be this removed from his idea, his project, and see something and be like, okay, I like this, thank you, like that continues the lineage of, at least in his mind, of what he thought Star Wars was, and celebrates that, like Pablo Hidalgo said. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, like I said earlier, that George has something that he enjoyed from new Star Wars, being that he is the maker. Looking at that as anything other than, well, I'm happy for what he says. Like, obviously, you're not a fan of George and what he wants if all you want is to be vindicated in your own anger for something. Like, I didn't really,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Kenobi show. Still cool that George likes it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Agreed.
Shout out to John Mitchell with the $5 super chat.
My trick's gonna work on me. Only money.
Dude, when I watched Phantom Menace in theaters, it got to that point, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm like Pavlov's dog. Like all I think of is being on Dark Side Secrets now, and that play.
Super chat. Leia named her son Ben because Ben Kenobi saved her as a kid. I like that they made that clear in the show. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's so true. Yes.
Very cool. We got a lot of people who were in the chat. As we were yapping. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, they're all having their own convo. They're having a good time, right? Yeah, you guys.
Like these idiots.
People watching right now. 83. How we doing?
Yes. Be sure to hit that like button, guys.
Did you guys have a good Star Wars weekend? You should have. If you didn't,
yeah,
you should have.
Go follow Tony on Instagram. He's almost at 10K.
Almost.
Are you for real?
Yeah, bro. I guess. I don't know. I'm at 9940 right now.
Yeah, dude. He's 60 followers. There's 78 people in here. If you're not already following Tony on Instagram,
9940, 99400, or 99940.
9,940.
Oh, I can't count. My bad.
Yeah, I remember math.
I was thinking 99,000.
99,000.
Nah, man, that's crazy. Not yet. Not yet, my friend.
We're over 9,000.
But yeah, if you guys aren't following, I guess I'll just drop it in the chat. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? Yeah. All right, so the Acolyte trailer. You guys want to bring that up and take a look at that bad boy?
Yeah.
Because people have their opinions on this show. That's not out yet. And
I only watched this once, so I'm kind of excited.
Oh, Hulk, curb your excitement, Grayson.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
Jedi are being hunted.
She was my student. I trained her. Let me be the one to bring her in.
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan. Some sort of shift to tip the scales. It's time to face the past. Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. If you want to pull the thread and change everything, and pull it.
Dude, that shot goes so.
I love that.
I like seeing that Sith dude, whether he's an imposter, whether he's an offshoot Sith, whether it is the Sith Lord, gets me so pumped because they're being so like, you know, so dodgy about this story and like, you know, just kind of be there along for the ride, you know, just wait, let us cook.
I'm sold, dude. I think I really am excited for this.
Me too.
Like, if this show is Cheeks, like, I will be the first one to come on here every Wednesday and be like, this is Cheeks. But I am stoked for this. I think it's going to be very cool. It's a completely different story. It's outside the realm of everything we know about Star Wars, outside of the High Republic stuff, which Grayson's the only one on here who really knows anything about High Republic. But, I mean, even, like, the Sith stuff and, like, the idea of the witch mother being like, do you think destiny is ruled by some outside anonymous force? It's like, yeah, obviously the force, but like even just challenging the idea of the force, it's very, I think this is going to be cool. Now, every week I am almost certain there's going to be something where people are like, they just ruined Star Wars canon with this sentence. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right, I'm already prepared for that. But I'm just interested to enjoy this Star Wars show for what it is because it looks cool. And honestly, more samurai vibes, the better. I love that stuff.
Did you guys get to see the fight scene after Phantom Menace?
Yeah. I didn't notice my first time watching this. What's that around her neck? At first I thought it was like a kyber crystal for a second. But she only has it on this scene with that around her neck.
It looks like a vial of something. Like, honestly,
like
it looks
super
like
soldier serum.
It's the drug that Barris gets addicted to.
It looks like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ooze.
It does. Yes. It looks like slime from Nickelodeon. You're about to get oozed, soul. Dude, the silhouette of him in between those trees, or her, we don't know for sure.
I think it's a male because you could see his arms when I was watching it in slow motion, like a lunatic. But hold on, when he swings and when he like throws the saber,
it's probably a dude. But it might be a bait and switch.
Someone thinks it might be a dude that we see earlier in the trailer. I'm gonna scroll back to it in a second, but dude, I got it.
That helmet is gnarly.
I want it, man.
I want it too.
It's so crazy how much it looks like Kylo Ren's helmet.
It does. Like it's the silhouette. Yeah,
it's the silhouette. Oh, right there, you can see like
I don't know. Right there, it kind of looks like it could have been a girl too. I really don't know. They're a very slender person. I keep hearing that like the person that is the Sith will be someone that'll be right under your nose the whole time, and you'll never even guess.
I feel like that's a man's elbow right there.
Maybe I don't
look
know.
Look at the elbow.
I don't be looking at men's elbows, Tony.
It's a man's elbow.
But look at his elbow. Look at it. I feel like
maybe,
it's a man. But I think someone was saying, like, theorizing that dude could be.
Oh, is that a Night Sister, like a Dathomiri Zabrak girl?
Zabrak.
Yeah, that is a Zabrak.
Yeah. Yep. That's cool.
We usually don't see Zabrak women.
I know.
Rarely do we see them with the horns. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
This guy, someone was saying,
because there's two different types of Zabrak. There's the Dathomirian and there's Iridonian.
Yeah.
Someone was saying, what if it's this guy? Because I think this guy's supposed to be a guy that like knows it all, knows a lot of secrets and stuff.
He's already dissing the Jedi, what he's saying.
Yeah, so it could be this jabroni. What does he say in this part? He says something.
He said like the Jedi, like or like the Republic, like established themselves of this force of like blah 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 in the name of
Yeah.
peace. And
The
But-
set design looks really cool for all of
it
this
does,
stuff.
dude.
I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I hate the volume, but like I'm very happy that they went like largely practical and like location scouting.
I think it's one of those
stuff like
things
this.
that like one of those things like you got to know when to use the volume. It can't be all or nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it can be nothing. I think Andor looks beautiful because of that, but still, like, look at Mando season 1 where it uses the volume and it looks amazing in that show. But then in season 3,
that looks so much like Octo.
It does, but do you think it is?
does.
Do you think they would go to somewhere from one of the most hated movies?
Yeah,
I think they would. I think they're more likely to go to somewhere from one of the most hated movies to make people like it.
But Octo didn't have like that evil like presence in that tunnel underneath where Rey kept. Maybe we'll see the origin of that
wet hole.
Which is why I think that like you see the Sith dude.
Wow.
Isn't that the Sith dude who's standing on the rocks in that one part?
We don't know if it's a Sith dude. Like he's
that's
just
him, right?
He's just in a dark robe in the shadow. Like if I was standing there, I'm not automatically.
I don't know.
Sith.
There is like a weird point on the side of his head.
Well, there's also but I think this is also the back of the character. This isn't the front of the character.
Yeah,
and the helmet has almost like on the right side of the helmet almost has kind of like this line going through it. So I'm pretty sure it's there.
I don't know. When the Sith guy shows up for the first time and he like does the slow turnaround, that sound sounds so much like Vader in the carbon freezing chamber in Empire Strikes Back. Like it sounds so similar to that. Like that screeching, like it sounds like there's the heavy breathing underneath the screech.
Dude, they're like
it's very cool.
What's that what's the actor's name? He put a clip on his Instagram and there's more to that scene. He says something a little bit more. Let me try to find it real quick. What's the guy's name? The Squid Game guy's name? Something.
Oh, I don't know. The character or the actor?
The actor's name, so I can find his Instagram.
I don't know.
Wow, Connor, what are you doing here, bro?
Connor?
I mean, Grayson.
Oh. By the way, Beyond the Dune Sea fans, if you or if you're not fans, go wish Beyond the Dune Sea, or is it Press Pause Photography? He just had his daughter born. Send them some well wishes. They're taking a little bit of a break, but we're very proud of them.
An acolyte himself.
And he's shared that publicly, so I feel confident that I can share that. But Lee Jung-jae?
Yeah.
Lee Gunji with the Darth Bane profile picture. Is Gunji the Acolyte?
I hope so.
I think we talked about this like a couple weeks ago, but the Sith.
Dude,
like
if Gunji
Sith
isn't the Acolyte, this show is ruined, and it's going to be the worst Star Wars.
Goes into the War Between Worlds after the Bad Batch abandons him on Kashyyyk, and Kashyyyk gets blown up or something, and then he goes into War Between Worlds, and he's like, I am all the Sith, and then he,
That's my theory, and if it doesn't happen, the show sucks.
I know. Actually, it sucks already. I'm excited. I really am excited. Like now that Bad Batch has passed, Tales of the Empire has passed, like I kind of feel like a burden has not in a negative way, but like, I mean, admittedly, we were all covering a lot when it came to like a lot of this stuff. So now we get a little bit of a break before we get into something kind of new and fresh.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, I really am. Like I think it's really gonna exceed people's expectations. But like you said, if it sucks, like we'll let you know.
So listen, let me bring this up. I want to make sure you could hear the audio, so I'll do it this way.
I just want to know what the Darth's name is, if he is a Darth.
All right, listen to what he says, because it was like a little bit more of that combo he has with the Sith person.
You carry a Jedi weapon, but you are no Jedi.
And then I think after that he says, "What are you?" Like the thing that we just saw. But
Oh, so are we going to see somebody bleed a crystal? Maybe,
Dude, that would go hard.
Oh, please,
Like
please.
if it could be top the scene of Dagon Gera bleeding his crystal. Like if it was literally like on a dime, like they think a Jedi is dead or something like that, or immediately they're like, wait, who is this guy? I don't know. It could be done really well.
do we see the
Flex.
saber hilt that the Sith guy uses in the trailer at all?
Only the emitter.
Is it the same as the hilt that is used in the poster with like the blood on it?
No, that's
No,
a Trinity saber.
Yeah.
I knew it was another character's saber. I just didn't know if it was like you use a Jedi saber and like that he steals that and then bleeds it.
There is a shot. Okay. Earlier in the trailer, there is in that same, almost presumably the same scene in the forest where it's dark and everything. There's a saber in the ground cut in half.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Oh,
singed.
let me bring that up because I know what you're talking about.
I get the feeling that's probably Jackie Lon's hilt because it seems like she's gonna die, but I don't know. Unless you know what, I'm also
right there.
Who is willing to bet this happens all within the first 2 episodes?
Oh, I hope so.
That right
there. You
there.
go. That's definitely like a lightsaber that got busted.
I want to know how many are going to die within the first 2 episodes. You think there's going to be a lot of death?
I think that I would put money on that.
What if they all die in the first 2 episodes?
It's
and then
Games of Thrones style. We're like, oh, can't wait to see them.
Oh God!
Within the first 15 minutes of the first episode.
Oh, yeah. the red wedding all over again.
I think
my God.
the 2 main hook characters will be Indara and Soul. I feel like that those will be kind of like the main ones we follow, and then, I mean, it's also Tony had told me about this, but the poster as well gives the indication. I don't know if
twins, baby.
Yeah, that the girls are twins. That one
twins,
might be,
Basil.
What?
Oh, like there was that rumor a while ago, but isn't that just like what happened in that Old Republic storyline?
Yeah, I mean it literally is the Twi'lek girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah. It's that. It's I think there's 2 of them.
Yeah,
one is the sister on the left that got kidnapped. The other one is the one that.
He even says something like Soul does, where he's like, he says, by the way, Tony or Will, we were talking. Sorry, this is complete derailment. Obviously, I'm a big lightsaber guy. You remember you were talking about how the lightsabers look different in this?
Yeah, they look way fatter.
They look way fatter.
Oh, they do.
So I was talking to one of my buddies, and they were like, probably how these lightsabers are not going to be very popular. One, I think it's a Disney decision because all of the Savi's Workshop lightsabers are incredibly fat.
Oh my God.
So I think it's like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have 2 of them here. They're like freaking lead pipes.
Yeah, they're like Pringles cans, bro.
Yeah.
I think the only one that is
just the emitter. The hilts themselves are very wide, but like even the blades are really wide.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The only ones, I mean, and it might be a depth perception thing, but the only ones that don't look like that are Vernestra's, which is the purple saber down there, which we'll probably see her turn it into a whip at some point. And then I think from the little bit we've seen,
the Sith guy, his is like super thin too.
Yeah, so I think that might be like a stylistic choice. I don't know.
And what's Li Zhongjae's character's name?
Soul.
His blade also looks crazy short to me.
Yeah, that was one thing that surprised me in Ahsoka. If you go back and watch Ahsoka, Ezra's new saber, his 3rd saber, the blade on that saber is incredibly short. So they're kind of they've been experimenting a lot with like the. What is Kate?
Oh, speaking of Ahsoka and lightsabers, and then I see what's her name's with a purple lightsaber.
Stop!
All right. I don't like the colors of the sabers and in Ahsoka.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Speaking of Ahsoka and Ezra, I saw a tweet the other day where somebody was talking about meeting Ezra at whatever con he was just at
Philadelphia.
I guess they asked him about his lightsaber or something, and apparently he told them what's the guy's name who plays Ezra?
Amon Esfandi.
Amon told whoever the person was a story that he originally petitioned for Ezra's lightsaber to be purple when he got his new lightsaber, and it was shut down.
What?
Yeah, I wish it was a different color.
So
then-
I'm gonna pull up the tweet because I was gonna make a post about it literally right after this when I saw it. But
Yeah.
I wanted it to be yellow so bad.
So the user is Leo Met Amon. Changed their name to that on Twitter. And the
Their
Abby
handle?
is like a loth cat. But
What-
it said, did I mention Amon said he tried
Leo-
to get Ezra to have a purple lightsaber, but it got vetoed. And then Amon responded to that a few hours later with a bunch of like the quiet emojis and like the
Shut up.
praying hands emojis.
What's the
Man.
person's name?
Loth something. The username isn't in the full screenshot.
Oh.
Is it
Leo met Amon?
If you go
Loth.
to Amon,
Is it this person?
yeah.
Loth Cat.
Where's the post at?
Go down. It's from a while.
Oh, wow,
It's from like a
okay.
couple days ago.
Jeez.
Oh, a couple
Person
days ago.
reposting, bro.
Or if you go to Amon's Twitter, you might be able to go in his replies.
Sorry for
and
the
find it.
NSFW stuff, guys.
Yeah, wow, this is crazy.
Go to Amon's thing, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just go to the replies.
Amon.
I cannot wait. Random thing. I can't wait to see what Ezra's like get up will be whenever he's like back in the main galaxy.
Yeah. Unless it got deleted, which would be crazy because I have the screenshot.
Just pull it up, bro.
It's from
Oh, right there. You just passed it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mentioned Amon tried to get Ezra to have a purple lightsaber, but it got vetoed.
Oh,
And
confirmed.
he has a purple lightsaber in his Avi on Twitter and his profile picture. So that's pretty cool.
Damn. Oh, he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
because that's wild. Yeah. Man.
Confirmed.
That's pretty cool. If anybody was
Ez-
going to have a purple lightsaber, I would give it to Ezra.
Especially with his like kind of dark side tampering with the holocron and stuff. Not that like that whole that canon of the purple lightsaber really means anything like that anymore. That's kind of a Legends thing, but still.
Yeah.
Dang it, they were all there at the con. Wow.
Yeah, Philly. Yeah.
I might try to I hope he comes to GalaxyCon in Raleigh, but I might try to meet
When is that?
Dude,
Sabine.
he's so awesome to meet, man.
When is that?
Yeah.
End of July? Like July 22nd to 25th or something like that. Whatever that weekend is. Come on, pull up, Will. Let's go together.
Maybe I'll take
Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer's still there.
Oh, Sam Witwer's gonna be there too?
Yeah. Dude,
I really wanna see Vaughn.
a ton of people are gonna be at GalaxyCon, bro. Like an insane amount of people.
Don't lie.
Wait, what weekend is it?
What?
What weekend is it?
Like the last weekend in July or something?
Oh, that's the weekend Deadpool comes out.
It is the weekend, but we can go watch it together, bro.
Where is it at? In Oklahoma?
No, Raleigh. Right there.
Raleigh.
It's pretty good.
Oh, Sarah Connor.
Mm-hmm.
John
John Bernthal, Charlie
Punisher,
Cox,
Daredevil.
Wilson Duffel, Matthew Lillard.
Dude, Matthew Lillard is at every freaking convention.
Really?
Bro, he's getting that money,
Natasha.
baby. Sam Raimi.
Dude, I know. I was like, I could meet Sam freaking Raimi. Josh Keaton and Christopher Daniel Barnes are going to be there. Spider-Man voice actors. William Zabka. That's hilarious. Ted Raimi as well.
Where's the? Oh, there we go. There's Star Wars. Daniel Logan.
There's your boy, Daniel Logan.
Pauly Shore, your favorite.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Man. Sam Witwer, Vanessa Marshall,
Yeah,
Taylor Gray, too.
Biodome.
My guy,
Biodome.
Christopher Daniel Barnes, 90s Spider-Man, X-Men 97. I'm not watching it, but I know he was in it.
You're not
Wasn't
watching
actually.
X-Men 97?
Dude, I just like, listen, I love Marvel and comics and stuff. I need something to pull me back in. Like, I've been so dead.
X-Men 97 is it. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's better than every Star Wars project on Disney Plus.
It is
so good.
Here's the thing:
you're
I
gonna
was
cry
not
at
an
episode
I was
5.
not an X-Men kid. I was a fantastic.
After
You will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? What
The
is wrong with
writing
you?
is phenomenal.
Really?
It's insane, man. It's setting a new precedence where it's like this needs to be the standard. And oh my god, bro.
Didn't they fire the writer though?
Yeah, they need to bring him.
But that was, I think, because he had an OnlyFans or something. Like, yeah.
All right. Interesting.
His Instagram is
Super NSFW. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah,
That'll do it then. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get on it soon.
it's so good. You will not be, especially because there's 2 weeks left. There's only 2 episodes left, I think. No,
I think
next
one.
week's the last episode. Yeah,
is the finale. Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
So
Episode 5, like the ending, I just wanted to cry. It was oh my, I can still hear
every episode gets better.
Okay.
even
Yeah, what I have
today,
heard is that Cyclops gets an amazing treatment in that show.
Oh yeah,
they all do.
Sucky jerk in this one.
Yeah, because I remember when I met Spider-Man at Universal, he told me I was like Scott Summers, and I was deeply offended by that because in almost everything that he's portrayed in, Scott sucks. So
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah, I'll get
Yeah,
on it.
man.
I'll get on it, folks.
Anything else, fellas?
Like, is there
I think
anything
that's
else?
it. We talked. We covered a lot.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
That was a good one.
You sound like you're in a fridge right now because you're far away from your mic.
I know. Yeah, you sound.
We covered a lot.
What do I do? No,
It's
I
not
can't.
compressed.
I can't find my headphones, dude. I feel like a noob.
Oh wow.
How you been
Yeah,
listening?
you don't have headphones.
It's weird. I don't like it.
Damn. All right, guys. I think that'll be it for this week. We'll see you guys
Oh,
next week. And
James-
Grayson
James-
has something.
I was about
What
to
do
say, he
you-
says
what?
Skeleton Crew Christmas. There you go.
Oh yeah, Skeleton Crew. The guy. I know Will's excited because the toy guy is there. The prop guy, the stop motion guy.
Phil Tippett. That's the only cool thing about Skeleton Crew so far.
That is cool. That is
That
very
they're
cool.
gonna,
Yeah.
they're gonna use stop motion stuff. That's actually super sick.
Yeah.
That's like such a like beautiful part of that wasn't some of it was stop motion, like the creatures and stuff in the OT. I hope we get stuff like that. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. The Tauntauns, the AT-ATs,
Rancor?
the freaking Rancor.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Man, that makes I will say, like, I think as it gets closer and we learn more, because like we still really don't know anything, like at all. I'll get more excited.
You didn't see the trailer at Celebration London last year, bro?
Yeah, sorry, I must have missed that one.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Allegedly, from what I've heard from people who have seen the trailer doesn't give you much either.
Yeah,
No.
it's just like
Other than,
forgot
the, other than
kids.
baby Max Rebo.
Yeah. He's in there, confirmed. So, yep. Skeleton Crew Christmas. Have a good day, guys. See you tomorrow, later next week. Toodaloo. Farewell. Say no to death sticks.